to T-Boys TV. Obviously, we're back again with another Premier League predictions. Obviously, it's game week 33. So you're getting closer to the end of the season. Obviously, this is a midweek, obviously game week. So yeah, I don't actually know the last load of midweek, just literally game weeks. Obviously, there's been rescheduled games, but I don't know the last one in the Premier League, thinking about it. But yeah, it's all interesting. I know I know Chris has put in his predictions. So what I'm going to do is, once I've done mine, is I'll get into his because he sent them all in one. So I'll just do that for his. And yeah, there's a bit he said about Spurs as well, which I'll get into when I talk about Spurs. Big up Stephen in the chat, says big up Ty, big up yourself, mate. So yeah, big up to yourself. So yeah, let's just get into it anyway. Let's just get into it. So obviously the first game we're going to be looking at is obviously tomorrow, which is obviously Wolves versus Palace. Now, this one's an interesting one. Both these teams, I think when it comes, to the end of the season, I think they'll probably both stay up. They'll both be in the Premier League, going into next season. Palace, since Roy Hodgson's come in, obviously they're still, unbeaten. Obviously they have, 3 wins and a draw. I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct. Obviously, I drew to Everton on the weekend. So yeah, there's that. And then obviously on the other side, Wolves obviously did take the lead against Leicester, and they ended up bottling it, which was a bit frustrating because I did say 2-1 to Wolves, and I thought they were going to do it. I've just realised I haven't even got my screen sharing. There we go. So yeah, it's all an interesting one, this one. Like I said, I think it's both teams that will be in the Premier League, come next season. Obviously, they are teams in the battle, but they're the higher up ones. You look at the table right now, Wolves sitting 14th. Well, to be fair, actually, saying that, West Ham with their win have took over Wolves. But same points, just a better goal difference. But yeah, after saying all that, I'm going to go with a... What am I going to go with? I'm going to go with a draw, I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to sit on the fence for this one. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. So yeah, that's my prediction for this one. So yeah, there's that. Big up Lewis in the chat. Yeah, he says, hope all's good, mate. Yeah, I'm all right, mate. What about yourself? I hope you're well, mate. Screen share. Yeah, sorry, Hanno, mate. I completely forgot to do it. I did actually have it already set up. I just didn't tap on it to actually share it. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, that is that. Moving on to the next game, which is Aston Villa versus Fulham. Now, Aston Villa, it's all interesting with them. Obviously, they are 9 games unbeaten. A couple of them being draws. Obviously, they're doing very good, as we know. Taking on Fulham, who obviously did get a win in their last game against Leeds. I did predict that game right. I did say a 2-1. The only game I got right this weekend. I did watch the game as well, to be fair. And yeah, it was all right. It was all right win for Fulham. Do you know what I mean? They're taking on Villa, though, away. Now, Villa obviously been impressive, starting to kick into things with obviously Emery and all of that. And I'm going to back Villa to win here, to be honest. I think Fulham could make it tight. Obviously, Martinez did have to come off against Brentford. I don't really rate Olsen that much, but I still think they'll have enough to beat Fulham, especially with how they've been. I'm going with a 2-1. I'm going with a 2-1 win for Villa in that one. So yeah, there's my prediction there. Eugene says home win for Villa. Yep, no, I'd have to agree. I'd have to agree with that. Big up to Harry in the chat. Harry looking lame, bro. Evening, mate. Up to Liverpool. Yep, big up yourself, mate. Big up yourself. Villa 2-1. Yep, same as me. Big up Wolf in the chat. Says, hey, lads, big up yourself. Hanno's gone 2-1 as well. Yeah, 2-1's popular one, isn't it? So yeah, that is that. Moving on to the next game. Now, this game's a massive game at the bottom of the table. Leeds United versus Leicester. Now, obviously, both of these teams are just above the relegation zone, as you can see there. Leeds 16th, Leicester obviously 17th. Leicester are actually on the same points as Everton, who are in the relegation zone, but obviously Leicester have a better goal difference. That win helped them at the weekend. They're taking on Leeds. Leeds, obviously, I did lose again. Didn't get battered like they did the 2 previous games. At Ellen Road, How do I see this one going? I actually reckon this one might have goals, you know. A point isn't really great for both sides when you look, you know, they're just above it. But I can see this one being a draw. I reckon it's going to be goals. I'm going to go for a 2-2. Go for a Desmond in this one. So, yeah, there's that. Your predictions. Tom's prediction for Villa. He's gone 3-1 to Villa. Okay, interesting. Stephen's gone the exact same as me. Great minds think alike, hey? Come on. So, yeah, that's that. Tom's gone 2-1 Leicester. To Leeds draw as well, yeah. So, yeah, that is that. That's fair enough. That is fair enough. I'm just going to sort something out on YouTube real quick before I get on to the next game. So bear with me a second, people. Ty, you copying me? Nah, just great minds think alike, mate. That's what it is. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. So yeah, bear with me a second while I just sort this out. Hanno says 2-1 either way. Don't know which way. Fair enough, mate. That's fair enough. Like I said, a draw's not really ideal for both sides because, you know, they are just above it. But I don't know, man. I don't know. If that's someone to win, it probably would be Leicester, given they had the win, you know, in their last game. In Leeds, you know, obviously they lost the last 3. It might be more than that, but obviously I know they've definitely lost 3 in a row. So, yeah, that is that. Where is this thing that I'm trying to look for real quick? So, yeah, there's that. There is that. Well, there we go. I sorted out what I wanted to sort out. So, here we are, back again. Moving on to the next game. Nottingham Forest versus Brighton. Now, obviously, Brighton did get knocked out of the FA Cup, you know, to United on penalties. I was a bit frustrated with Solly March, to be honest. I thought he was pretty crap. Not even because he missed that penalty. Like, he had some good chances in the game as well that he didn't put away. I do think it cost them, to be honest. I did think as the game went deeper and deeper, especially into extra time, you know, they were probably going to go on and lose, to be honest. I thought United were going to get a goal. Obviously, they did win on penalties. Nottingham Forest obviously did have that tight game with Liverpool, scoring 2 goals. I did not expect that, especially at Anfield. You know, they were quite unlucky not to get something. Like, let's be honest now. You know, they hit the crossbar in the second half. They had some good chances. But Brighton, I think they'll bounce back. I do think they will bounce back after that game against Man United in the FA Cup. My score prediction in this one, I'm going to go over 2-0 Brighton. I just think, like I said, I think they'll bounce back, to be honest, in this one. So that's my prediction there. Your predictions for this one? Hope all teams except Man United lose, says Wolf. 2-0 Brighton, said Tom. Yep, exact same as me. There's that. Brighton away win. Yep, I can see that. So, yep, there we go with that. Seagulls 2-0. Yeah, exactly. See what I mean? Stephen, again, mate. Again, great minds are thinking alike. Do you know what I'm saying? So, that is that. Moving on to the next game, West Ham versus Liverpool. Now, I'm a little bit gutted that obviously Man City Arsenal is the same day as this because I'd like to watch that one, but I will watch this one. Obviously, I'll keep my eye on the City game, have it on in the scores and that. But yeah, West Ham versus Liverpool. Now, West Ham have hit a good bit of form, you know, recently. Obviously, got that impressive draw against Arsenal. They're probably based on, you know, how they played in the second half. They're quite unlucky not to win, to be honest. And then obviously they got that very emphatic win away at Bournemouth. Obviously, a team around them, so that was always good to win, especially in the manner they did. You know, brilliant. That goal, they scored that scorpion kick. I think it's 4 nows. It's a brilliant goal. Taking on Liverpool. Liverpool, obviously, you know, not doing bad recently. You know, Liverpool don't usually have consecutive wins this season. But they have actually done that. So, you know, fair play. Beating Leeds. Obviously beating Forest. Yeah, it was narrowly, but still consecutive wins for Liverpool, which is rare. Jota is looking good. Jota is looking good again. That's what I will say, which is good to see. His goal against Forest, the second goal, was brilliant. I've got a feeling because it's midweek, it's at West Ham. West Ham are doing all right. I've got a feeling it's going to be a draw. I'm going to go for a Desmond. I don't think a draw is awful, to be honest, but I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this one. So, yeah, there we go with that one. Hanno's gone 1-1 in that one. Tom's gone 3-1 to Liverpool. Interesting. Liverpool away win. West Ham 2-1, says Stephen. Okay, we ain't gone for the same one there. Close, though. Nearly did. 7-0, Paul. Imagine. But yeah, I just don't lose Liverpool, yeah? Because I said that's a West Ham fan, so he'll be trying to, get into me. So yeah, let's not lose. But anyway, moving on to the next game, London Derby, Chelsea versus Brentford. Now, I do remember this game last season. Brentford winning very emphatically 4-1 after going 1-0 down. Chelsea obviously haven't been great this season. Brentford did get a draw to Villa in their last game, which I did think they'd get. Obviously, I did say a 2-2, but I knew they'd get a draw, even though Villa have been on very good form. I just thought with Brentford being at home as well. This one, it's a difficult one for me. Obviously, Chelsea have had the longer break, obviously, because they're meant to play United, but obviously, due to United being in the semi-final, they haven't. Both teams. I mean, if someone's to win, I think it'd be Brentford. I think they'll sneak it, but I got a feeling there's always one. I'm going with a 0-0, mate. Honestly, I'm going with a 0-0. I remember a couple of seasons ago, I think it's last season actually, I played Brentford. Well, that might have been early on in the season. It was 0-0. So yeah, but I wouldn't be shocked if Brentford nicked something, to be honest with you. Your predictions, Stephen's gone for an emphatic win for Brentford. He's gone 3-1. PTSD now. Thank you, Tyler. Chelsea 1-0, says Tom. Okay, interesting. 4-1 Brentford. Imagine. That'll be the same result as last season. Shock result, Chelsea win. Yeah, it is at this moment in time, isn't it? Brentford away win. Frank Lampard will lose this game. I wouldn't be surprised if Brentford nicked it, but I'm gonna be on the safe side. I'm gonna be on the safe side and go with a draw, to be honest. Moving on to the next game. Massive game, as we know. Manchester City versus Arsenal. Obviously, Arsenal, have dropped so many points in their last few games. Obviously, the draw to Liverpool, they were quite lucky to, not lose that game in the end. Same with West Ham, in my opinion. And in Southampton, it's just shocking, wasn't it? Let's be honest. Taking on Man City chasing Arsenal now. This is the Man City where they're starting to go on these runs. Obviously, I played in the FA Cup on the weekend, won 3-0. So everyone expected them to beat Sheffield United, but they, look very, very good. This one, I just think City, they're here now. The way Arsenal have been dropping these points, I can see City winning this. City have won every single one of their last 5 games at home, and I can't see that changing here. I really can't. Arsenal, obviously, they need to realistically not lose, in my opinion. I think if they get a draw, they might be all right. But then again, they've still got to play Newcastle away, and we saw what Newcastle done to Tottenham. I just think City will do it. I really do. I'm going 2-1 City. I think it'll be tight, but I think City will do it. So yeah, that's my prediction for that one. Your predictions, Tom's gone 3-1 to City. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. City home win against Arsenal because Arsenal bottle it now. Yeah, it's not looking great for them, is it? Previous games. People have said, it's been since the Liverpool game. I see what they're saying to a certain extent, but then again, Liverpool, they haven't beat them at Anfield since 2012. For me, the game which they could look back at, which has cost them, is that West Ham game for me, especially being 2-0 up. It's not like they got some weird record at the London Stadium. I remember last season or season before, they went there and won 2-1. And they were in a very good position. Like I said, they were in a very good position. And the Southampton game, at home, bottom of the league, you've got to be doing better there. You conceded in 30 seconds. It's not good enough. So, yeah, for me, City, they're back now. And they'll win this one. So, yeah, 2-1 City for me. Your predictions in this one, other comments as well. Stephen's gone 3-1 to City. Haaland hat-trick. Imagine that. I wouldn't be surprised if it is 3-1 because it was 3-1 at the Emirates, to be fair. So I wouldn't be surprised. Hope City wins, says Wolf. Fair enough. De Bruyne, Haaland, Mahrez scorers, Odegaard for Arsenal. Okay, fair enough, mate. It'll be interesting to see if that happens. Moving on to the next game, which is Everton versus Newcastle. Now, let's talk about Newcastle. Obviously, they got that very emphatic win versus Tottenham 6-1. You know, I said 2-0. What was it, like 2-0 in about 5 minutes or something? You know, it's mental. It was absolutely mental. I was actually in my head questioning Murphy starting. It's not because I don't think he's good. I was just surprised, you know, with Almiron on the bench and that sort of thing. He scored a banger in that game. Absolute banger. They're taking on Everton, who did draw to Palace. Oh, I just think the way Newcastle have been, you know, they want to try and get that third place. Obviously, they do have the same points as Man United, but obviously they've got a much better goal difference. But Everton obviously trying to stay up. They are currently in the relegation zone. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I think Newcastle's quality will shine through and they'll start, you know, banging in the goals and taking their chances. I'm going to go with a 2-0 to Newcastle in this one. So, yeah, that is what I'm going for in that one. Your predictions for this one. Tom's gone with the same as me, 2-0 Newcastle. Stephen's gone 4-1 Newcastle. Emphatic win at Goodison. Jeez, that would be interesting. I mean, to be fair, the Everton's last home game was the game where they lost 3-1, so it's not too far off in that sense, is it? Everton home win. Okay, interesting. Moving on to the next game. Moving on down to the South Coast. Southampton versus Bournemouth. Now, Southampton obviously trying to stay up. Bournemouth, obviously, they're trying to stay up as well. You know, they're 15th. They've got a little bit of a point gap to Leicester, for example. But, you know, if Bournemouth lose this game, I think they're right back in the mix. Southampton, you know, obviously they did get that very good result. They'll be frustrated though, because you know the way Arsenal come back, they could have won that game. You know, they will be frustrated, and I know a few Southampton fans are saying it felt like a loss, which I know exactly how that feels. You know, at times with Luton as well, so I know definitely what they're saying. They're at home. If there is a game for them to win at home, I do think it is this type of game. But then again, I can just see Bournemouth sneaking it. I really can, just to try and, you know, get their gap away. And I still think, even though Southampton are, you know, getting these decent results every now and then against the top sides, I do think they'll still go down. I'm going to go for 1-0 to Bournemouth. I'm going to go for a narrow win for the Cherries. And the reverse fixture was actually 1-0 to Southampton at Bournemouth. So I'm going to go 1-0 to Bournemouth at Southampton. So that is my prediction there. Yeah, no worries, Hanno, mate. No worries at all. Stephen's gone 1-0 to Southampton. Fair enough. Tom's gone 2-1 to Southampton. Fair enough. Bournemouth draw. Fair enough. I could see that. If I didn't go for a Bournemouth win, I probably would say draw. So, yeah, there we go with that. And then moving on to the last game. Tottenham versus Man United. Now, Tottenham have sacked Stellini. And it's currently Ryan Mason in charge. So he's already been in charge before. For example, when they had that League Cup final, and obviously we know they lost that. They should have kept Mourinho for that, because I think City were there for the taking that day. I really do. The taking on Man United, obviously be very happy after that win. FA Cup final versus Man City. First time it's ever been a Manchester derby in the FA Cup final. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, that final, that's for sure. Yeah, it's an interesting one. It really is. Tottenham at home. You know, don't rate Tottenham at home that much, especially recently. You know, their last home game they lost to Bournemouth. Man United, like I said, I think they'll be very confident. From that game against Brighton, obviously progressing to the final. Chance for them to win 2 trophies this season. And obviously, if they do win the FA Cup, they'll win the same trophies that Liverpool won last season. I'm going with a United win. Like I said, the confidence is there. It's not there for Tottenham. I'm going 2-0. I'm going 2-0 Manchester United in this one. Lewis has put his predictions in, so I'll go through them at the end like I am with Chris. Tottenham will get back to winning ways against Man United, you reckon? Interesting. And finally, Luton 7-2 Middlesbrough. Oh, my days, imagine. 1-0 Man United, says Wolf. Good prediction, Tyler. Yeah, I just think Tottenham in the mud, you lot will be confident after that win. So yeah, let me go through Chris's predictions, and then I'll jump on to Lewis's predictions. So yeah, bear with me that. So Chris has gone with a 2-1 for Crystal Palace, which is different to me. Obviously, I've gone 1-1 close there. He's gone Villa 3-1. Obviously, I said 2-1. 2-1 to Leicester. Interesting. I could see that, to be fair. I could see that. Nottingham Forest 1-1 Brighton. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, Forest being at home. But like I say, I think Brighton will just bounce back. 3-0 Brentford, which is interesting. He reckons Chelsea will get slapped. West Ham 2-2, gone with the same as me. Man City 3-2 Arsenal. Okay, he reckons that half goals. Fair enough. Tight game like me, though, in that sense. And then Everton 1-1 Newcastle. Fair enough. I mean, again, you could say similar to Forest. They're at home. And Newcastle might be too overconfident in a sense. So you never know. And then his other predictions, 3-2 Bournemouth. Okay, he's gone goals. And that'll be the exact same score Bournemouth had in their last away game, if that's the case. And then he's gone 3-1 United. Yeah, I could see that, to be fair. Fair enough. Some interesting predictions there. Lewis has gone 0-0 Fulham Leeds. Okay, that's his 0-0 game. Fair enough. 2-0 Villa. Yeah, fair enough. I think you guys will win. 2-1 Palace against Wolves away. Again, same with Chris there. 2-0 to Wolves. Fair enough. 2-1 to Liverpool. Interesting. I could see Liverpool maybe nicking it, to be fair. Man U. 2-1 Man U. Wait. I'm confused by that. Bournemouth 1-1. Oh, no, 3-0 Liverpool you've gone with. 1-1 Bournemouth. Wait. I'm confused, mate. I'm confused, bro. I'm confused there. His other predictions, 3-0 Newcastle, which is fair enough. 2-1 Bournemouth and 2-0 Man U. Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Yeah, let's go through the other comments. Stephen says, right, off to the Kenny. Excited night under the lights coming you at us. Yep, I will be doing a watch long. It is scheduled now, so make sure you do tune in. I will be live about 10 to 8. Because the game's at 8, so make sure you tune into that. Yeah, I was a bit confused, Lewis. I was a bit confused there, mate. I can't lie with that, but there you go. Understand it now. We've got Super Rocket Edwards. Go on, you already know the drill. But yeah, they are my predictions. What I will do is just calculate the table. So Man City would now only be 2 points behind Arsenal. Newcastle obviously still third. Man United fourth. Aston Villa would jump up to fifth, which would be very impressive. Tottenham sixth. Brighton seventh. Liverpool would actually drop down, I believe, to eighth, because I think they're currently seventh. Yeah, they would actually. I know that, thinking about it. Brentford 9th, Fulham 10th, Chelsea 11th, Crystal Palace 12th, Bournemouth would jump up to 14th, West Ham 13th, West Ham 14th, Wolves 15th, Leeds United 16th, Leicester City just above the relegation zone, and it would be the same bottom three in Everton, Forest and Southampton. So all interesting if they are the case of this week of games. So yeah, it is one of those really. Love that scoreline there you got for the Etihad this midweek. Yeah, I just think you guys will win away, mate. I just think you guys will win. You know, you're unbeaten in your last 5 at home, and Arsenal, you know, they're having these. You know, they are. It looks like they might bottle it, to be fair. And like I said, for me, it's not even necessarily from that Liverpool game because they haven't beaten Liverpool in how long. It's more that West Ham game for me. Especially being 2-0 up in that one again. I know there's 2-0 up against Liverpool, but their record ain't great at Anfield anyway. You know, so for me, it's that West Ham game. But definitely if City get a win this week, then I think personally, that's probably the game which more so you look at because it was Man City and then it will be Man City who will go on to win it, if you get what I'm saying. So that's what I reckon for that. Yeah, no, I saw that. Not surprised at all. Like I said, Mason's in. But yeah, it's just not looking great. Obviously, Mason did have a little bit of a spell before when they had that League Cup final. Honestly, they should have kept Mourinho for that because they were there for the taking, mate. They were there for the taking. I remember watching it. They could have got something, mate. They really could have. But it's the history of the Tottenham, I guess. You know what I mean? So it's one of them. But yeah, people, that is where I'm going to wrap up. Like I said, I will be live around about 10 to 8 for the watch along to Luton versus Middlesbrough. Massive game in the Championship, as we know. So yeah, I will be back again live for that. And it is scheduled now. So make sure you do smash a like on it and all of that. That'll be much appreciated. But yeah, we're currently on 14 likes. So big up to everyone that's tuned in. I know a few people watch this back on playback, so smash a like there as well. As for new subscribers, let me check if there's any new. I know there was earlier. Yep, there's another new subscriber in this stream as well. So big up to yourself, whoever that was. Much appreciated. We are getting even closer to the next target as well, which is 1,750. So yeah, big up to yourselves for that. But yeah, don't forget to smash a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload or a scheduled stream. If you do want to follow me across any of my socials, links to them are in the description. Subscribe to my other channel as well, T-Boys TV Extra. That would be much appreciated. And yeah, hopefully I'll see many of you guys at 10 to 8. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. Big up yourselves. Stay safe. Take care. Peace.